Hi everybody, this is Jim Egan, head of school, Synapse School with a Friday update. Let's call it a weekly update. I'm not sure when this video is gonna go out, but we're gonna make it anyway. 5 minutes, 5 insights, 5 domains. Let's go. Number 1, something that I'm thinking about. I wrote to the staff last weekend and I wrote about epistemic, I believe that's how you pronounce it, epistemic humility. Realizing that you don't have complete information and that sometimes you don't know everything and that your theories or your conclusions or your expertise is often provisional at best. It should be open to revision. And I was thinking about this because my daughter, she works with forest elephants and they have something called infrasound. That is something we can't hear. They are using to communicate amongst each other and to actually help the ecosystem thrive in that rainforest. If we can't hear certain sounds and we can't see certain things, like owls can see different colors that we can see, then the information we're getting, our senses, we don't have complete information. So when I look at the media and there's so many individuals who are so certain, and I see and meet individuals who are so certain about something, we gotta model for our kids to have epistemic humility. We might not know everything. Test your conclusions. You don't know as much as you think you know, and be open to revision. That's what I'm thinking about. Number 2 is a shout out. I want to shout out Caitlin. Caitlin is a second year L2 lead teacher. Quite frankly, I don't know of anybody around here who is as enthusiastic, energetic, effervescent as Caitlin. She comes with just such a deep domain knowledge in science. She tells me she geeks out on weekends over different types of science projects that she can do with her kids. I'm sure if you're a kid in that class, you can't help but love Caitlin and probably love science too. Of course, she's teaching reading, she's teaching math, she's teaching SEL skills as well. But I'm so glad she's having a great year. Every time I run into her in the hallway, I'm happy to see her. She's one of those people that just sort of brings light into your day and brings a smile onto certainly my face. So Caitlin, I'm glad you're here. Love that you're having a great year. Shout out to Caitlin. Number 3, a look ahead. I was looking at the calendar and we have a math circle coming up in a couple weeks. And I didn't want to wait until, right when the math circle starts to explain to some of you who are new or some of you who are watching that really don't understand what a math circle is about. I can tell you what it's not about. It's not about finding the right or wrong answer at speed. It's not about competition. It's not about ranking and racing towards something. It's really about finding the culture of math at Synapse, enriching, understanding that we're all about thinking like mathematicians. We understand that we can all do math and we want it to be creative and playful. Ultimately, it's really about a mindset. And parents, this is a very popular event, by the way, so you should RSVP, but come on in, play around with math, show your kids that you can do math and you love math too. I think a lot of parents actually understand that already, but it's not about rank and speed and competition and all of that stuff that sometimes gets forced in from the ecosystem outside of here. It's about making sure your kid understands they can be a mathematician just like you. Number 4, a peek behind the scenes. Sometimes kids ask me, Jim, what do? You have a suspicious amount of free time. And so I often wonder, maybe parents wonder too. Well, one thing I do, this is behind the scenes, I do a lot of projection and planning and the sort of deep dive into not only financials, but the buildings themselves. I think other schools may have big operations teams. I have the intrepid Eric Story helping with operations facilities. It's amazing. And he and I work on, for example, our construction projects. Today we had a meeting discussing labor costs, material costs, subcontractors, equipment, contingency fees, all those types of things with a general contractor as well as our architects, making sure that we get the project going and moving along and it's within budget. So I'm spending a lot of time doing that kind of thing. That's happening behind the scenes. Parents, if you want to know, and you can tell your kids I'm doing that stuff too. That's what's happening. And number 5, just because, the numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. Those numbers are all what? Just talking about math. What kind of numbers are they? And where do you think they're located on our campus? Those specific numbers. Thank you, Avni, one of our parents, for pointing them out. They were right under my nose. But I'll give you a hint. They're not in a building and they're where kids play. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. You can go on a hunt and try to find them or send your kids out to try to find them. That's it. If you like this video, like it. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you haven't given to the annual fund, you should. Otherwise, have a super weekend. It's a long one. We'll see you later.